You'll never know my favourite game. Okay, that's a lie. I just wanted to cock tease everyone and give you a Merry Christmas message before starting off.
Because that's the time of year that it is. Or you know, if you don't celebrate Christmas, then at least happy holidays. And just have a good time with whatever you do.
Okay, enough dangling. My favourite video game of all time after 25 days of waiting is Bloodborne. My absolute, undeniable, picture-perfect, 110% favourite video game ever made, and until something brand new comes out to top it, it shall never be toppled from my personal podium of prowess. What the fuck am I talking about? Okay, remember everything I talked about with why I love Dark Souls? Well, obviously this game on PS4 is from the same company that made Dark Souls, but as a currently solo adventure, meaning the story and lore implications of the gruesome world you're stuck in feel a lot more compact and grounded. But that's the only major thing from the story approach worth saying that feels totally different from Souls, along with a few gameplay tweaks I'll discuss in a bit. In Bloodborne, once again, as any character you'd like to be, you are ill and head for the city of Yharnam for a cure with the town's patented miracle blood to cure all ailments. However, you chose the best possible night to come and see the doctor, because it's the night of the hunt in the grimy city streets, and everyone from townsfolk to mutated beast alike is out for fucking blood. Forced into a savage landscape with ferocious odds stacked against you, you have no choice but to plow your way through, find out story stuff like in Dark Souls by reading every single item description for every single thing you pick up, picking out important information from every NPC, and just witnessing everything in front of you unfolding. Eventually things get way more sinister, way faster than you'd imagine, eventually opening up to reveal a multi-dimensional Lovecraftian plot that was pulling the strings the whole fucking time. And once again, my mind was blown by the storytelling alone, and how each NPC side quest had the most memorable, best voice acted and deepest missions you had to embark on that not only ever increased the depressing overtones and slowly made you realize there were no happy endings whatsoever from every single aspect, left me with holes in my heart from how well choreographed each character encounter is. And what else do I adore? Oh my god, fucking everything else. And what immediately drew me was the gory, slimy, gothic horror aesthetic, feeling like a gritty Victorian London horror movie, easily my favourite kind of horror and setting for a horror, which then decided to pull the rug from under me and revealed its interdimensional Lovecraft inspirations draped within the Victorian London look, and further made me love what I already loved. It feels exactly like Dark Souls in many aspects, and like I said, I already did a video a few days ago about it, so you can see a lot about the currency system, losing it on the field and then having one last chance to retrieve it, leveling up in specific builds, death arriving in seconds if you aren't quick and careful, the way that every item, area, character, and even interactive gameplay element like how the checkpoints work all have story significance being weaved in, and even all the optional online elements that remind you that you are never alone in your suffering and tease you with the insane lengths you need to go to in order to get help. All of that stuff still applies, and it all combines to create one heavy and oppressive atmosphere. Yes, atmosphere again, and it's the best I've ever experienced that often stooped into survival horror gameplay more than action RPG, and one that fills you with an unexplainable sense of joy and relief after crushing your foes and finding the next holy checkpoint, especially after a boss. But in the gameplay department, it does many other expansive things on top of Dark Souls to make it my favourite Souls-like game to play. The jaw-dropping areas feature a lot more horizontal and vertical planes of exploration to hide extremely beneficial and important items, weapons, and even boss encounters, and the game itself has no shield system, or at least one that works, so you feel a lot less safe than in Souls as you're blatantly and unforgivingly shoved into the front line in every single encounter. There's no hiding behind a shield here, and no times to stop and think what's going on. You're in the moment, every moment, and you'd better get fucking good at dodging and at visceral attacks to stumble enemies and deal massive damage. It's a million times more aggressive and fast than Souls, and luckily the controls complement this along with the awesome mechanic of your health being able to be regenerated up to a certain point if you can quickly counterattack back to whoever got you. But since this small regeneration bar is only there briefly, you have no choice but to be more courageous and be more aggressive in order to truly reward yourself and get all of your valuable and treasured health back, while balancing and not getting too cocky and losing track of your stamina and everything else and getting yourself killed. It's way more risk and rewardy, and there's so much to think about and so much going on behind the scenes in every single one-on-one encounter and when fighting against the dozens of the best and most revolting bosses I have ever played against, that it's hard to remember what you're even doing from how stressful and acutely fierce the whole game is and how it completely envelops you in the world because of all of that. I can't neglect to talk about all of the badass, steampunky, and completely original hunting weaponry that transform at will. So fucking cool and all so fucking good to experiment with. And the visuals, my fucking grinding, crack smoking god, the visuals. I'm not even going to explain them. Look at this shit. Look at it. It's so beautiful, so vibrant, so disgusting, so unique, so detailed, so alluring, so abhorrent, so crisp, colossal, and spunky. The PS4 is working overtime constantly with it, and as it goes, the designs of every single beast and boss you come across leave scars in your mind from the effort and majesty crafted into all of them. And similar to Souls, but on a much more detailed scale, being able to look out into the horizon and see potential hidden areas or other locations you've just explored or will explore later as you figure out how everything links together shows off the level of care and thought gone into the world building. I mean, to be honest guys, by this point the entire Cadvent Calendar series has been difficult. There's only so many ways I can say I like this game without coming off as redundant, so maybe I'm just rambling, I don't know. But I can't feasibly describe much more on why I'm infatuated with Bloodborne. It immediately drew me in, didn't disappoint me, and exceeded my expectations to a degree that I will never ever stop loving it. And man, that DLC is some of the hardest I've ever played through in my life, but like Dark Souls DLC, worth every single half a penny and further expanding the profoundly harsh and melancholy lore to such a degree where my mind was blown in on itself yet again. This is it for me, the apex, the best game I've ever played. I want a tattoo of it somewhere, just haven't had the time for it. I have the limited collector's edition set, posters all over the place, the soundtrack on CD in the car whenever I need my kick of one of the greatest orchestral gothic scores I've ever heard in my life, and it's always a pleasure to go back and conquer the dozens of hours of in-game additional content and more bosses hiding in the completely optional and increased hours of gameplay in the Chalice dungeons, or to just help out other people online whenever I get the chance, because I want people to enjoy the game however they want to and see if they can love it as much as I did. Fucking Bloodborne, my favorite video game of all time. Thank you very much. Today's Pixel Empire announcement in the description below is one that, well, is basically just going to be me saying a huge thank you. A thank you to everybody. A thanks to all of you at home that decided to take part in purchasing every daily deal that popped up. A thanks to every other one of you that took part in the competitions we ran from the beginning. Another thanks to all of you who managed to sit down and watch through every single video I made through the entirety of December up until Christmas with the Cadvent Calendar series. And the biggest thanks in the world to the Pixel Empire for providing the channel with top-notch quality stuff I was promoting, for being amazing with my merchandise, letting us have access to giveaways and deals, and just being all-round fantastic guys. It was so amazing working with you every single day, and I hope that what we showed off appealed to one or two of you, because there was a lot to go through. 25 days, incredible. Oh, and one last thanks. A thanks from the bottom of my very being to all of you that allowed me to be in a position where such a video project like this was possible. This is all down to your support and sharing of my content, and I really can't thank you enough. Just to recover from all of this, I think I'm going to go on a break until New Year's has passed, absolutely, but after that we'll be back on the regular 3 video per week schedule, and what I have lined up in 2017, I hope everyone likes. So until then, thanks again. If it's your birthday watching this video, then happy freaking Christmas holiday birthdays to you, and please remember to stay beautiful. Thank you so much, everybody.